Wow, if there ever was a writer-director who understood my brain, it's Spike Jonze. Wait, is that really something I want to admit? Her is the latest film from Mr. Spike Jonze, the genius behind movies like Adaptation and Being John Malkovich. He once again takes us on a mind-bending journey, this time into a future where our relationship with technology is taken to a whole new level. Joaquin Phoenix takes center stage as a man dealing with the end of his marriage and what happens when he installs a new operating system voiced by Scarlett Johansson, whose intuitive programming has an impact on almost every area of his life. Now, to say that Spike Jonze has a unique view on the world is a bit of an understatement, and yet somehow he always seems to evoke real emotion from me. In this movie, it's no different. Her is breathtakingly compelling. Let's start with Spike's incredible look at the future of technology. It isn't just that he has some cool ideas about how we'll interact with our technology someday, it's that every bit of it seems fully realized and thought through. Not only that, but it all just seems so stinking plausible, which I think has to do with how much of the future still looks like today, because honestly, things never quite change as much as we think they do. I'm looking at you, Back to the Future. The technology is progressive while at the same time being very human. Jonze is a genius at dosing his abstraction with honesty and intimacy, and he absolutely hits this one out of the park, creating an even more accessible tale than Adaptation or Malkovich, and still bringing back some of the cleverness and quirk that seem to be missing in Where the Wild Things Are. Yep, he's my best thing. And that's not to take anything away from the performances either. Joaquin Phoenix is stunning as the hesitant everyman, bringing a sheepishness to the leading man role that shouldn't work but somehow does. And Scarlett Johansson absolutely deserves acting awards for his role as the voice in his head, even if you never see her once on screen. Her performance is incredibly moving, even though she is stripped of all the visual cues that actors usually rely on to make it work. As far as negatives go, there aren't many. I mean, I felt there were some subtle missteps in the way video games of the future are portrayed, and I found a couple of the surrounding performances to be a bit distracting, and I'll go ahead and tag the worst thing as the general feeling of malaise that pervades the movie. Even though I get that the fatigue is an important part of the themes and message it brought, a sense of hopelessness at times that didn't quite match up for me. I have to say though, all of those things are extremely slight and barely register as much of a complaint by the time the credits roll. All in all, I love Her. Spike Jonze has once again written and directed an incredibly meaningful and powerful story in the midst of his beautifully twisted brain. I give Her an A. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. Stay tuned for this review's Best Ever Challenge here in a bit. First, I'm going to put some stuff up over here that you can click on. If you want to subscribe, I'd very much appreciate it. You can do that by clicking on the big gray subscribe button. Want to see more reviews? You can click over here to see reviews of the Christian Bale flick Out of the Furnace, or the foreign language films The Wind Rises or Wajda. You can also click the logo right up here to go to yourmoviefriend.com, where you can search by title for more reviews. And finally, this review's Best Ever Challenge, where you name the best movie ever in a particular category and also try to identify my choice. This time, you must name the best movie with a short one-word title. Let's say 4 letters or less. There are actually a lot of really great ones here, but mine is pretty obvious and features what may be the greatest first 10 minutes of a movie ever. Drop your own answer and a guess at mine in the comments, and the first person to guess mine gets a point. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe.